Hello and welcome to my December daily collaging. We are on December 17th, unbelievably. Thank you for joining me again today. If you're here for the first time, you can find the prompt list and the playlist for my December dailies below in the description box. Before I start tackling a prompt today, there's two things I need to fix. One of them is this here. As I was rewatching my video when I was editing this one here, I realized how this happened. It was with my big sanding block when I was going over this texture paste. Somehow I managed to tear this pom-pom trim. And first I thought I was going to try to take this off with a Stanley knife, but I see that if I do that, it immediately starts tearing my page. So I really don't want that. I don't want to tear this pocket. So I think what I'm going to have to do is to cut off the pom-poms. So I will try to do that carefully, just at the edge of the page. And now I don't think I can get this off. It is quite bulky. Well, maybe I should try it. I'm just gonna try if I can gently shave this off, because it is very bulky. And if I put another one over it, it's just, it's gonna be very bulky. I have just torn into it. Oh. Okay, wow. Okay, that completely tore the page. But it seems to be okay. It is definitely a lot thinner here now. But look, this is intact. So I think it's safe to just glue another piece on. And hopefully I will be more careful in the future, because I don't think I can afford to do this another time without the page being very torn. Going to take my 3-in-1 glue. I think I need to clamp this down. It is resisting a little bit on that one side. So that should help. Okay, and the other thing I needed to do was, when I looked at this page again, I realized I forgot one thing, and I did mention it in the video, but then I actually didn't do it. I did ink him up, but of course he has a kind of like a shiny surface, so the vintage photo didn't really stick to him, and I need him to stand out a little more and to kind of make him not look so flat. So I need to go around him with a darker color to make him pop out more. So that is something I want to do now, and I'm going to try to do this using my Faber-Castell water-soluble pencil in walnut brown, by just going around him and then by taking my water brush and activating that color. Hopefully I won't mess this up now, because I love this page. Like, this texture is amazing. These raised small dots here, they're almost like alligator skin. I'm not going around the wings because the wings are floating, so they don't need a shadow. But as you see, I'm going on top of the wings because his arms, of course, are in front of the wings, so there should be some sort of a shadow there. So fingers crossed, this will be okay. Okay, it is very subtle. I love it where the wings are, but otherwise it is very, very subtle. But I do think it makes a bit of a difference, and yeah, I think that was good. I wish I could have more here, but somehow it's not staying, so I'm wondering if some of the glue maybe was seeping and there's a resist there. Maybe I should try it with a drier brush. No, I think now it's working better. Okay, I will leave it now, but I think it's good. I think this was definitely an improvement to the overall page. Let's move on to today's prompt. I already thought of one, and that's going to be make a collage with love as a theme. Number 17. Originally, I had wanted to do something else, but it just totally didn't fit with this page, and somehow I thought it would take away from this page if I do like a Victorian scene or something here. I just didn't like that idea. So I decided to go with something that would fit with this, and I thought the love theme would work if I combine it once more with a vintage type photo. So I wanted to use a photo that would work with love, and I'm choosing this one here. This is one of my printables again. I will link this for you below. And I printed this one more time at 130%. So you see here that there is quite a difference. Can you see? There is quite a difference in the size because I just thought this would be too small. So 130 I thought was a good size for these. So I will fussy cut. Yeah, I think I'll fussy cut these. And then we'll see what kind of a page we can make. Oh, wait, first we need the candy. We need the energy boost. So here's my calendar. Here's 17. What is it today? So it's another one of these Merry Christmas themed gummies with a regular flavor. By the way, just so you know, this is also the one where we have this lady from this page. So you could use both images if you wanted to do similar pages to what I'm doing. I almost wished I would have even printed them bigger, but we will just have to make do with them like this. I have inked them up. The cool thing is they are in winter coats, so that's cute. That's exactly what we need for a winter page. And for a background, I'm going to add some of my bits, my ephemera bits from here. And I'm going to decoupage them down with my deco glue and my damp brush. And then we will take it from there. So let's start building a very simple layered background by just putting down pieces. I might not even bother tearing anything. I might just layer them as they are, as they come. I am, of course, not going crazy with colors. I am sticking to muted vintage colors so that everything will be cohesive in the end. You can do this with glue too, obviously. This is just a lot faster, I think. These pieces I have here are from the Your Creative Studio boxes. Random boxes. Don't know what months. But you can use any scraps that you have. You don't need to use pieces like this. But I'm happy to use mine because I have too many, and so it feels good to actually use what I have. I went ahead and dried this with my heat gun, so it is now ready for another layer. And I'm going to add some more gesso, but actually I think instead of my brush, I'm going to just use my fingers. And I don't want to cover the whole thing with an even layer. I just kind of want to do this in parts. In parts, not in parts. I want to just put it not like in some parts, mostly where the pieces are meeting together. Where they're meeting together. My goodness, what is up with my English today? Where the pieces of papers are layered on top of each other, like where they're joining. Working with your fingers, of course, is very different to working with a brush. I really like working with my fingers in art because it connects you somehow differently to your piece and you have more control, I have a feeling. So you see here, it doesn't really matter so much what it is you put underneath because we won't be able to recognize most of it anyway. So just cover your background with anything you have, just for a little more interest, and I think that's enough. I've again dried this with my heat gun. It is mostly dry. I'm just trying to build up an interesting background, to play with layers, things like that. And this time as a background stamp, I want to use this one, which is again from Crafty Individuals. It is this beautiful scripty stamp and the name is CI214. Again, this is their website. They are in the UK. This is what the stamp looks like. So you again, you have to mount it yourself. They do sell the mounting foam, but yeah, you have to do that yourself, unfortunately. But I guess they're cheaper because of that. So what I want to do is, I'm going to take my Memento Espresso truffle ink, and I actually didn't realize I had a new one. So I'm happy because this is really drying out. So I'm so happy I have a new and juicy one. I didn't know. So I'm going to put this on here. And the good thing about these is they are permanent. So you can then add some wet media to them afterwards, which is important when you are layering. And I think that's good. Don't need more. Next, I want to add some color, and this time I want to add it with some water-soluble colored pencils. This is a mixture of Caran d'Ache and Faber-Castell. I just picked some colors that I think might work well. It's a mixture of cold and warm tones, more of the cold tones because I'm trying to do more wintry. I don't know if that's gonna work. So what I want to try is, let's start with a cold one, to just go along the edges of my papers. Like this. And then this time, instead of a brush, I'm going to try to use again my finger. I've never done this before, and just rub along here and try to distress it like that. And actually that is working very well. Who needs a brush? So I can now do this in various shades. Let's get some turquoise in here. It is so fun to play with your fingers on a background like this. Let's try some of the brown. trying to blend everything together nicely to just have an interesting background. Let's add some of this warm yellow. It's called dark chrome yellow. And I'm not soaking my finger in water. It is really just a touch of water, and then I can kind of regulate how damp I want it to be, which is nice. I think I have more control that way than with a brush. Okay, this yellow is not so warm. I don't know why this is so cold. So I want to add back some of that warmth with the brown. And this is coming off. That's okay. Maybe I should add a bit more gesso over that, just to seal in the edges where that came off. I'm not really liking these pastel looking colors, so I'm going to keep experimenting and keep adding things until I'm happy with what I see. So maybe to fit with this page, I'm going to add some of this Wild Honey Distress ink to just kind of make them go together better. And I'm going to take my soft blending brush and just lightly go over this. I want to get rid of any of the white gesso. And this will warm the whole page up. I'll probably be adding more things over that. I know I wanted to go for wintry, but I'm not liking it, so change of plans. And whatever I do is just gonna add to the overall finished look, and it's gonna be fun. No matter what happens, the result will be unexpected and fun. I'm liking this already. It looks very colorful, doesn't it? Wow, this is very different to what I thought I was gonna do. Okay, so this is what we have now. It is a very interesting background. I feel I can't get as dark with these colored pencils as I can with crayons. So let's bring out the big guns and try to create a little more depth with these crayons now. I'm gonna go again and use my bronze. It's a metallic color. And I will maybe start from the outside. Framing the whole thing. Let's see if that works. And I'm again going to use my finger. And let's add some of that to the inside as well. Again, going around the edges of my papers mostly. Another thing, of course, we could use instead of our finger is a damp baby wipe. I'm sure that would work really well. I do want some of that turquoise back. Yep, this is called turquoise green. Don't really see that it has any green in it, but let's try it. Maybe we'll try with this sponge that I used yesterday. That's also good. Maybe not adding water, but just kind of smearing it. Just trying different things. Maybe we'll discover something new. Okay, this one needs a little bit of water. I also want to try to add some splatters. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do that with these crayons, but we'll see. So I have this kind of splatter brush. And let's see if I put this in water and then put this over, just running my crayon over the brush. I'm not sure it's wet enough. Let's tap it. Yeah, so it's working, but they're not quite as dark as I want them to be, but it's okay. It's fun, like this too. Okay, I'm gonna dry this. So the splatters are dry. I love how they turned out. They look like either coffee or hot chocolate has kind of just like spilled a little bit on my page. What I don't like is that there's still too much white showing through from the gesso, and it doesn't look quite as white in real as it does on the camera, interestingly, but it is too white for my taste still. So I'm going to again take my wild honey, and this time I'll use this sponge and just try to go over all those white bits and try to warm them up. Yeah, I think that is much better. It is incredible. When I look at this on the screen, I still see white, but in real there is no white left. It's really just this warm yellow color. So I actually really like this background, but I have no clue how to continue, how to make this look wintry, or how to make these work on this page. I kind of think they are too small still. To make these stand out more, we can of course use the same technique that we did with Henry over here. So that's no problem. We can also ground them. That's fine. The question is, how do we make it a little more wintry? And I went through my December Daily box and I again found these wooden pieces that I have. And they are, whoops, they are indeed very wintry. And I was thinking either we could add some of these white stars. Of course, we're going to add 3. And of course, they're going to be laid down in an uneven triangle, right? So maybe something like this. So either the stars, that could be cute, or I also have these snowflakes, which we've used, I think, on the second page. Like that. I think I prefer the snowflakes. And then we could always add some more white splatters to make it look more wintry, to have like some more snow falling like we've done in some of our other pages. And then of course we also need to add a sentiment. And I think I found one that I really like for this page. This is again one from my own winter quotes, which I will again link for you below. And there is one, yeah, so this one says, if kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. So he's kissing her on the cheek. It's so cute. And I think this is a perfect quote. So if we add some more snowflakes, I think that will be perfect. And I think I want it in beige, not in blue. Yeah, I don't want it in blue. So I will cut this one out in beige. Decide where that will go. Probably somewhere on the bottom right. And then we'll add some snowflakes. We'll add some of the brown colored pencil to make them stand out more. And then that might be all that we need. We don't have to think too complicated. We don't need to add 1,000 things. We have a super fun and interesting background. So I don't want to make it too busy by adding so many different things. I'm cutting a little bit inside of the border. I don't want the black border. Okay, I'm going to, of course, ink around this. I must say I'm really happy I printed these, or I designed these on a beige background because I was not enjoying inking up all the white all the time. So the sentiment will go somewhere down here. We can add that once we have them grounded. It sounds funny. You're grounded! I kind of wish I would have first glued this onto a book page or some cardstock to make them not be so flimsy. I'm not happy with that, but I don't want to now glue them on something and then cut them out again because I know I'm not going to do a good job with that. So I think I'll just have to work with what I have. And for this, what do I use? I think I'm going to use my tacky glue and try to pay attention to not put any glue too far on the edge because I don't want anything squishing out because that would then create a resist, meaning that my colored pencil is not going to stick. So this is a very fine balance between having everything glued down and not having it squish out. So we are not putting them right in the center. We are gonna put them a little off center, like this. Tap them down carefully. And now let's first ground them. So I'm going to go around them, just outline them with my brown colored pencil, which of course is water soluble. And on the bottom, I will give them more ground to stand on. It always looks strange when you have figures or animals or plants, probably even too, maybe plants less, that are just like floating in the air. They always need something to stand on. I'm taking my water brush again and I'm going to dilute this and just blend it a little bit. Let's glue down our wooden snowflakes. I'm using 3-in-1 glue for that. You could use your hot glue gun if you prefer. I'm not a huge fan of it. But that's just me, that's just because I'm not really good at it. Or maybe I don't have a good glue gun. Then let's add some more snow. I'm going to take my Posca pen for this. I want to cover up their faces because I don't want snow blobs in their face. So I'm just taking some scrap paper. It's fine if it's on their coats and stuff. I just don't want it right in their face. So I'll just cover them like this. This way they can kiss in secret. I'm gonna shake this up. Whoops. Yep, just got it all over my arm. Let me grab a baby wipe. Note to self, don't shake this when the cap is on, off. Now I can try to kind of control, whoops. I can try to control it more and just get some splatters this way. I don't want splatters on him. Henry. I should cover Henry. I feel like this can have a lot of snow since we're talking about a blizzard here. Okay, I'm gonna move you up because I keep hitting the camera. I think that's enough. Let's take off the paper. Yes, they are intact and they are in a blizzard. I really like it. It looks very wintry now. So the only thing that is left to do is after this dries, I need to add the sentiment and the date. So let's dry this first. We know this is going to go on the bottom right because there's no other good place. So I'll put it right here on the very bottom. And the date, I think I'm going to stamp this time. So December 17. I'm gonna use my new Memento Espresso truffle. And where am I gonna put it? I'll put it right under our sentiment. Yeah, that's all right. Yep, so that's our final page. I am super happy with it. I love how these two go together. They're very harmonious. I just love working with black and white images. I know some of you think it's boring to always do this vintage stuff, but that's what my channel is about. I'm sorry, I just really love vintage, and I hope that most of you do too. Go play, your turn. Hope to see you back here tomorrow, and don't forget to post on Instagram. Love you guys.
Mwah, mwah.